suicide's a big one for me. There's I think there's a lot of blokes out there that going through stuff that doesn't really get talked about. You know, like all the boys have been saying, they don't have, you know, I don't think they think they have the right to go and speak to someone. But now even in sport and stuff, there's more bigger names having counsellors and stuff, especially like league players. And every player has a counsellor to go and talk to, and I think it's a growing thing. So it's going to definitely help in the future.
I mean, if no one's going to talk about it like in class, they don't like brushing about it because it doesn't. The kids don't like to talk about it. If we do that, if we do talk about it, it was thought out there. It might, if it helps someone, it's worth it.
They don't talk about it and that, and just making it normal. Like it's not tough for people to do it. So they're not so you know, they feel uncomfortable about doing it, or because I guess when you do talk about that stuff, you know, a lot of the time you don't do it with your mates because you just feel weak or you feel. So I guess just getting rid of that and trying to.
Like I think it's always sort of going to be like a bit of a touchy subject, even any way you sort of put it. But like I think it'll pay dividends for someone in the end. I think for me personally, I think we should touch on it a little bit, and I think it did really good for me because I've like personally I've been dealt with it through family and myself and that kind of thing. I think just sort of talking about it with someone around you and mates around you that like care about you as well, I think it's really good.
At least for me and the way I was kind of brought up, it's like we should try and be self-reliant and we should try and be self-resilient and try and fix all our issues ourselves. And doing that seemed to me, at least when being taught this, it's like you should do this, you should do it this way. It's like, oh, but it'll just be weird if I'm going to go and help. It'll be kind of looked down on.
Yeah, like every guy sort of like you have to be this big strong image and you can't show your emotions and stuff. So like.
Do you think it's the same message for men and women, for girls and boys?
I think for girls,
I think this is pressure for them.
The girls' friends group, I think they talk a lot of, about a lot more stuff than what guys do. I think even I think the stats have shown or whatever, but the chicks, they talk about that kind of stuff. They talk about how they're feeling and this and that, boys and whatever. But I think for guys, if you spoke about that to someone in particular that you don't trust or someone overheard, I think that's where for a guy it becomes a little bit weak. Talking to someone that you don't trust or you're worried about it getting out kind of thing. Where the chicks have sort of, they've got a tight-knit group sometimes and they can keep it to themselves.
Yeah.
Well, stereotypically, it's a bit more of just being tough and like being a man, which can be seen as different things, I guess. But that's all, I guess, sort of changed for us compared to like for our fathers and that. So for me, it's just sort of just being a top bloke, like for us folks, like it's just you know, just being a decent bloke
Carrying the weight and helping other people.
It's not as much being tough and you know, getting in fights or proving it physically. It's more than that. It's like
back then, I think it was more of a physical struggle, and now it's time to go in more of a sort of mental thing for younger people.
That's the best way I could put masculinity, being a top bloke.
Being a top bloke. But who teaches you that it's all, well, who teaches maybe the previous generations, and maybe it's flowed on to your age, that it's about being physical and that kind of stuff?
A lot of the stuff that I guess we see is from obviously our fathers and people like that. For me, it's more like my uncles and stuff, also older cousins and that, so it's just those people in your family that you look on a lot. But I guess as it's changing that, you also look toward other people, such as maybe teachers or someone.
Media.
Yeah, just media in general.
Oh, well, I don't know. So sometimes media can perceive a person to what they really are. Sort of
Different
thing.
image.
Yeah, different image. So.
Like a stereotype.
Yeah.
I reckon you should brush more on cyberbullying.
Yeah.
Because like we did a little bit on bullying in general, and then I reckon cyberbullying should be just as important because it's just bullying, but you know, on the
I
internet.
mean,
Is focusing more on the online bullying something that should be just a general stance in schools
Yes.
and in
It's
homes?
going to happen though, because like as technology advances, only we're using technology. Like that's the only thing we're using to talk to people. So not like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's not the only thing we're using, but certainly more and more we're starting to use, programs on our phones or computers to try and communicate more.
I think another thing with the whole side of things, just looking at, you see how young people are getting on social media. There's so many
Goodness.
you get on it so young and that, and I think some people, they don't know the difference between, being opinionated and that, and then actually hurting someone. Like,
Yeah.
they can be trying to tell the truth to try and get across, but when you're crossing the line and possibly harassing someone or hurting them or doing something against, it comes, under bullying. Just knowing what it is, what the difference is.
I'd say people can express themselves like how they want to. Like if you're gay, for all sort of stuff, you express yourself how you want to be. And like I don't know, it is be good. I don't know how to explain it.
Sort of not having people judge you
Yeah, exactly.
on your thoughts, your religion, race, or whatever, these kind of things, sort of just being.
Actions,
Yeah.
actions should be judged based on the context, not what you are and what you look like.
Yeah.
Pretty true.
Puts the sentence together well, doesn't he? I'm jealous. Anyone want to add anything to that last one?
I think when we talked about it earlier, a bit of empathy.
Yeah.
In Dever, we went in, we were pretty close mates, but then we had a couple of boys, usually talk to or whatever. And when they start opening up about what they thought about the topics, put yourself in their shoes and, what they really thought.
Like for me, it helped me become a leader, the program. I think helped me develop more of a friend group and respect for other people. I think before I went into the program, there's a lot of boys in the class that we had that probably wouldn't talk to outside the classroom. But I think just having and building up respect for other people and showing respect for other people and their stories and how they go about things, and not just really caring about you or your mates. I think just showing that being a top bloke, showing respect, and sort of building respect as well, I think.
From the start of the program to the end, my look on what a top bloke was sort of changed as well. Like, I guess that a lot of it for me, before I went through it, I just thought about, a lot of it as being, good to women and that, and just being a top bloke, but it's also like, it's big picture, like just to everyone, and just, I think another thing's like seeking to understand, not always just being understood, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
understanding what people say and not always,
Going into a situation hoping to learn from the other person.
I've known a friend of mine, I've known him since I was 4 years old, and I come to him about things, but never in depth enough. And he knows that, and I know that. And now that I've been through this, I'm like, I'm about to let it on.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know why, but I felt like it was a really good environment to open up. I don't know if you remember, but I remember there was one lesson where I really sort of, I think I almost started crying with what I was saying, but I think just sort of realising that there were boys in that class and mates that I have that I can talk to, especially mentors as well. I think Keaton and Cal were really good for me. But there was one lesson there where I just sort of, I don't know, it all just sort of came out and I was just talking about it, and I think just having that environment to sort of speak in, having mates that I can trust as well, I think was a really good thing about the topic and something I really learned about myself as well.
Thank you heaps, boys. That's great.
No problem.
Ready?
Thank you.
And now the more.